Alright guys, so this will just be a quick video of how to install these a little bit easier. It's just going to be basically assembly. This is a fiber version of the QV extended splitter, and this is effectively how it'll come when you receive it. It'll be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections. Um, we highly recommend the 3D printed installation kit along with this just because it'll make life easy. Everything comes in the box and you really won't need to go out and grab anything, but we'll kind of use these two pieces as an example. You can see they've got the dovetails on the end to make assembly as easy as we could possibly make it, and I'm going to try to do this with one hand, but effectively they slide together like puzzle pieces. You notice kind of how easily they go in there. This may not always be the case. We try to ship them with the proper tolerances. Sometimes they may be a little bit tight. That's okay. You can use like a rubber mallet to just kind of massage them together. But before you do that, the key is going to be, if I can get this apart with one hand, what we want to do is apply our plastic weld here, all along the edges, as much as possible. You don't need to worry so much about the back. This part is flexible. What we really want to apply the adhesive to is this area right here. So we'll start with two pieces at once. The female end, this is what it'll look like with the dovetail. You can kind of see down the rail there. You'll apply the plastic weld all through here and in the seam as well. Don't be shy with it. Use as much as you need. And we'll apply that glue or plastic weld and then effectively slide this together and let it sit for about 15 minutes. So you can finish this one. It doesn't have to be held up any specific sort of way. If you want to apply pressure this way on it, you can. That'd be great. But that glue and plastic welder is going to effectively run through the seam and expand as it dries, and it's going to lock these pieces together just as strong, if not stronger, than the part itself. I've never seen a failure at the attachment point. Anytime during testing, I've purposely hit curbs and things to try to test the durability. I've never seen a failure here at the join lines. Sometimes we'll have some layer splitting if we really hit it hard enough. These are not indestructible. They're not designed to be indestructible. They're just designed to keep your carbon fiber splitter safe and off the car. Because the reality is these are going to take damage. It's a consumable item. There's nothing you can do about that. These just allow us to have a cost-effective replacement for track use or for any day-to-day use with bad roads, so that we don't have to rough up a $4,000 splitter. Okay. Anyway, once these are plastic welded together, you can move on to the other sections. I recommend doing them two at a time. So you'll effectively have a piece that looks like this. You'll have these two together, just doing them in twos, and then maybe one you'll have doing a third, just because there's an odd number of pieces, but that's totally fine. Once that's finished, what you want to do is flip them over to this side, right? Because this is not going to be visible. If you care about the aesthetic, right, we don't want to necessarily probably have, and this is obviously user dependent, if you're going to wrap or paint this, it won't matter, but up to about here and forward is what's going to be exposed on the car, maybe even around here and up. You don't necessarily want to have the weld showing around this area if you want a nice matte flush finish. So what we do is we flip it over to the back. You hear the printers going in the background, actually making two more of these. And once these are put together, you shouldn't have to, it'll hold itself tightly if you give it that 15 minutes. You apply weld all along the bottom seam, right? So not only is it locked in from the side, but now it's going to be locked in at the bottom. If you are doing heavy track use and you really want to make this thing last as long as possible and just have that peace of mind, you can also buy a cheap plastic welder from Harbor Freight, Amazon. I think they run about 13 bucks. I have one here somewhere. I can show it. It looks like it's in the box, but once that plastic weld is on the bottom seam, you could even take a plastic welder with a little metal rod and just zip in a few here at the bottom. That's what I've done on my car. Totally optional, but if you really want peace of mind and you just don't want to have to deal with it again, that's definitely an option. So again, this is the Giulia Quadrifoglio extended splitter in a carbon finish, and it takes about 48 hours to make these from start to finish, sometimes a little bit more. But if there's any questions on install or anything like that, feel free to shout us out, and we're happy to help you get it on the car quick and easy. Thanks.